Hey guys, in this video we are going to factor the expression 25a to the fourth power minus 36b to the second power. So what you want to notice, what I have as a little subtitle on the bottom, is that this here is the difference of two squares. So what does that mean for us? Well, we can factor this using what we call conjugates. Now, before you do that, though, you really want to do a step, which I like to call your thinking step. So this is you thinking, okay? So we're going to have a little thought bubble action going on. So this right here is going to be your thinking. And what are you thinking? You're thinking to yourself, what is being squared to make each of these things? This step is very, very, very important. If you rely on, looking at like a rule or a formula for factoring, you could apply that rule incorrectly if you don't take the time to think about this step. So I also sometimes like to call this putting on your glasses. So think of these two little windows here as like your lenses of your glasses, and then, they go on like that. So you look at the problem, you have to ask yourself, what was being squared to make 25a to the fourth? You're also asking yourself, what is the square root of 25a to the fourth? Well, the square root of 25 is 5. Now, what's the square root of a to the fourth, and why? If you said a squared, a good chance is you got the right answer by accident. Now, why is it a squared? Let's figure this out. Let's pretend for a second that instead of 2 right over here, let's pretend that that number was 36b to the, what if it was the 16th power? What's being squared to make 36b to the 16th power? If you said 6b to the fourth, you're wrong and you're confused. But if you said 6b to the 8th, you're right. Squaring something means you're multiplying it by itself. 6b to the 8th times 6b to the 8th would be 36b, and then you add the powers of when you're multiplying like bases to the 16th. Because 2 plus 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is also 2, people get that right by accident a lot of the time. So that being said, let's go back over here because it's not to the 16th. It is 36b squared. What times itself is 36? What times itself is b squared? That would be b, or b to the first. And if you think about it, b to the first is b times b. 1 plus 1 is 2. But for some reason, once we go beyond 4, people mess up. So keep that in mind. Fun fact. However, where do you go from here, your little thinking step? Well, from here, we set up our two binomials, double bubble status. 5a squared is going to be the first term in both of our binomials. 6b is going to be the second term. One parenthesis will have a plus and one parenthesis will have a minus. It really doesn't matter which is which. If you're not sure if you got it right, please FOIL and check your answer. But I promise you that is, in fact, the final answer. These are called conjugates of one another. When you conjugate a verb in Spanish class, you keep the beginning, change up that ending. So when we keep the beginning and change the ending, conjugates. They're not opposites. Opposites would be like 4 and -4 are opposites. But 5a squared minus 6b and 5a squared plus 6b are conjugates. So vocab word of the moment, give a thumbs up if you feel confident about factoring a difference of two squares. Put a thumbs down if you don't. Click through for the next example. Adios.